Welcome to the show, all 11 of you. It's me, Jonathan, and hold on a second. Am I even recording? Is this even working? It is. Okay. It's me, Jonathan, and my good buddy, Cody Akins. Hey, my good buddy.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Shit, I pulled an Internet Explorer. I was a little late to the party. My bad.
I believe Hanukkah has 6 more days to go. So that's also there. God only knows when Kwanzaa is. Are there any other ones we're missing? Chinese New Year? No, that's later in the year. Yeah. I actually, I said today to somebody as they were leaving, I had been saying happy holidays to people. And then today I was like, hey, have a happy New Year. Because I usually say happy holidays, but we're only down to 1. So I don't see why. This show, by the way, today is going to be about nothing. I don't have much planned. I just realized I haven't done a show in a while. I've been feeling like crap and need to do a show. So I have a problem with the happy holidays thing. I don't know how you feel, Cody, at your store, if you make people say Merry Christmas. I don't have a problem with happy holidays at all because it's not a non-denominational thing. I'm including other holidays. I'm saying have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and anything else. Also, I can't tell from looking at you if you're Christian, and I'm not just going to assume you are.
Nah, dude, you don't want to assume anything in this day and age. That's how you get sued.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's actually a good way to look at it. I've always been annoyed by the whole Happy Holidays thing, but the way you put it actually makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But I love it when customers tell me Merry Christmas and all that stuff. It always makes me feel good. And
well, I like it so long as it's not in response to me saying Happy Holidays, because I've had that happen. Where like, all right, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas.
I mean,
yeah, well, you have one of those too. You seem like a happy person. So I'm assuming you're gonna. Yeah, it's the subtext of that is go to hell. Like you're saying Merry Christmas, but your eyes are damning me to eternal hellfire. So congratulations on that. It started when I would deliver pizzas. I would usually go with the most bland expression that would not even. I don't care about offending people. I care about getting in an argument, and I just don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? So like, I used to say to people, "All right, have a good day," and then like one night, I said, "All right, have a good day," and they went, "It's evening." And I was like, okay, well then have a good one. So then from then on, I went, all right, have a good one. Have a good one.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, you can't go anywhere without getting in arguments with people. And that's just the way the world works. Because I think people are taking their online persona into real life too much now.
Well, means we need to start swinging on people every now and again, you know?
Maybe you can get away with that as the owner and operator of your own store.
No, I got my cameras up. There'd be too much video evidence.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I don't know. I have a couple of things. I want to talk about this. I was thinking about this. This is something that pissed me off. Have you been watching TV lately?
I've been.
Have you been noticing, like, it's mostly on cable TV? I haven't noticed it on network television as much, but the commercials are getting like way worse. Like that, half the commercials now, if you're watching like Fox Sports 1 or ESPN, any cable news place maybe that I don't look at, the commercials are basically, they all look like they're filmed with an iPhone.
They are doing a lot of that, like that movie 28 years later or whatever that's coming out with this song. Supposedly it's all shot on iPhone.
I don't care if it looks okay, but these are like purposely looking bad. They're supposed to look like podcasts. Like there's one like for Rocket Money's the worst about this. That's who does it. They have like one where it's supposed to be a stand-up comedian like talking to an audience. He's like, how much I was spending on bills? It's like, this is your bit. This is your routine, is getting in front of the audience and saying how much you were spending before Rocket Money, and it's bad.
Well, it's like that with the Bud Light commercial where the like redneck looking dude is sitting on the couch, and you have the two goth people doing like, "Hey man, are you not this guy?" No, I'm
Shane
this
Gillis,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to be in another commercial. And then like the
Yeah.
goth dudes at the bar like, yeah.
Right. That one relies on people knowing who Shane Gillis is.
I didn't.
You don't. I would actually think you would. It seems like he'd be kind of up your alley, but you'd probably like him. He's a stand-up comic. He's pretty funny. But yeah, I think you're right though, that it's hard to cast like any, unless they're a mega celebrity that you can't afford to have in your Bud Light commercial. Then who are you even going to have? You know, because they have to be somebody with a household name. Well, household names don't exist within the market for commercials anymore. And Jesus Christ, have you seen Coca-Cola has an all AI commercial? And they're proud of it. They're like saying, hey, look at this. It's all AI. Isn't that great? No artists were paid a goddamn cent for this. Isn't that amazing? Hey, you know, that artist who came up with the polar bears drinking the can of Coke, everybody loved that commercial. Well, he's rolling in his grave. And in case you're wondering if he's dead, he is, because we killed him. We murdered him. Yeah. But half the commercials are like that, are not AI, but are like filmed with an iPhone. They're supposed to look like the kind of commercial you'd see on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that shit. And it's probably so that they can repurpose them for the different platforms, but it just looks bad. Like, I'm sorry, there just needs to be, on television, you need to have higher standards. You just do. Somebody has to have higher standards, goddammit. You can't just let things slip, because as soon as you do, then everything starts to suck, and the next thing you know, you're going the same way radio went. And I don't want to see that happen to you, television. Speaking of great internet commercials, finding pet food you can trust is tough these days. There's so many brands that are packed with fillers and low-quality ingredients, and it's just hard to know what's actually good for your pet. And that's why I'm recommending APSTLshop.com, because they're a company that I truly trust to deliver quality. They're everything your pet needs delivered to your door. APSTL offers over 250 top quality products that you can count on, all available for nationwide shipping, from food and treats to toys, leashes, collars, and grooming supplies. They've got it all at APSTLshop.com. Healthy pets start with the right food. That's why they carry trusted brands like Nutriscience, Canine Caviar, and From Classic, each carefully selected to meet your pet's unique dietary needs. Need help choosing? Well, APSTL even offers expert advice on sensitivities and nutrition to ensure your pet gets exactly what they need. You can use their Treat Finder quiz to discover snacks that your dog will love and their stomach will thank you for. Every product at APSTL is handpicked with a focus on health, quality, and happiness, with great prices and frequent promotions that will keep both your pet and your wallet happy. Local and nationwide, they've got you covered. If you're in St. Charles, Missouri, you can shop in store or visit them online 24/7 at APSTLshop.com. That's APSTLshop.com. Truly everything your pet needs, all in one place. Shop with confidence. Shop with APSTL.com.
And I think was it Dave Chappelle who talked about the commercials that are like, they have nothing to do with the product they're advertising?
Maybe.
Yeah, so one of the comedians is Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock.
I mean, like, Geico was the king of that. That's been around since the 90s. It's like just basically a 30-second stand-ups or SNL sketch condensed into a Geico ad, and then they're just throwing it. Like We Add a Baby Eats a Boy collect call commercial has nothing to do with Geico. But, I guess they were like, he could have saved some money with Geico, right? That's it.
I do like the car insurance commercial from way back in the day when the squirrel runs out in front and the car wrecks, and then the two squirrels come out and they're like, celebrate that they knock. But dude, it's like commercials don't even have anything to do with the product they're advertising anymore, or it's like the ones that bother me the most right now are the SAP commercials where the dude is sitting in a bathrobe at the pool.
Oh, what is that guy?
And he's like,
oh, that's who America needs to hear from. Some smug-looking rich dude sitting poolside in Cancun reading a newspaper.
Yeah, like
a newspaper? What year is it?
These companies are building their own power plants to power their own AI. if they had SAP, they could have the crew in place to run that from day one.
What the hell is SAP?
Dude, it's some operations program. I used to use it at one of my old jobs, but I'm like, what does sitting poolside reading from a newspaper have to do with that? Yes, You're living every business owner's dream where your stuff is operating well enough that you can go take a vacation for a week and not give a rat's ass. I mean, I'd love to take a day off, one day off from my store and not give a rat's ass, but that's never going to happen.
Just think.
Ooh, excuse me. That was
I don't
rude.
know. You're like,
it's
okay.
For those of you listening to the podcast and not actually watching the video,
that was Cody, not me.
I'm slowly
Hey, we're both drinking from a 2-liter. What kind of bum-ass slobs are we this holiday weekend?
Hey, man, I got, 5 hours and 8 minutes left to ruin my diet before I pretend I'm going to care about my 2025 resolutions.
What do you have to care about a diet? What do you weigh $150?
Actually, after the holidays, I'm up 15 pounds to 193.
Okay, that actually surprised me.
No, dude. I got the bubbly gut going on. All my customers and vendors sent me cookies and cakes and
you should just do a worse job. Then they would stop sending you treats.
Yeah, but then
they're treating them like the animals they are.
Then I don't make money. My bills don't get paid. And the banks like when I pay my bills.
Anyway, back to the smug billionaire sitting poolside. Yeah, I think everybody hates that commercial, right? There's not one person who's going to go to a party tonight, and if this conversation about commercials comes up, they're going to be like, oh, wait, you know what commercial I like? That one guy that looks like he just got his hair cut, and he's now poolside after getting a warm towel on his face, and he's going like into the camera like, you know what these people should have done? Yeah, I love Smug McChortle sitting by the poolside telling me how great his goddamn life is for a product that I'm not even rich enough to know about. Like, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. What's the other one? The Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. That's another like AI commercial. I don't even know what that's for. It's Agent Force.
Oh, is it the Salesforce or whatever, the AI?
No, it's not Salesforce. It's Agent Force. But I know what Salesforce is kind of now. But Agent Force, what is that? Is that
I don't know.
Okay, I could look this stuff up.
Well, while you're looking that up, I'll sidetrack you with the NFL is trying to get you to buy food.
Oh, actually, I like those commercials.
Jerry's eating rice.
I like that. I like that commercial a lot. Yeah. I don't think that the NFL is doing things just to make you buy, and then it cuts into the. I like that. Agent Force is created by Salesforce to create powerful AI agents.
That sounds like the start of a Terminator movie to me.
Yeah, powerful AI agents. Cool, like Agent Smith. Okay, hold on. I was looking at like best commercial. Never mind. Anyway, we have the Super Bowl coming up in a little over a month, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Chiefs will be in it, so that'll be an interesting topic we can revisit commercials. Then here's something else I wanted to talk about. I did this and I forgot to get to it because I got sidetracked by work and then just illness and all sorts of shit. I posted this on Facebook and meant to get to it. What's something that's more impressive if done naked? Something that's more impressive if done naked. I posted this on Facebook, and here are some of the answers that we got. How do I sort? No, I can't. I wish I could sort by most liked. Tracy Ingle says frying bacon.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this right. Frying bacon wrapped chicken. I don't know why. I think it's just the bacon. I don't think the chicken actually makes it worse.
I mean,
frying bacon naked. Yeah.
Frying anything naked is probably a little.
I don't know. I'm hairy enough. I think my gut could absorb the popping grease and be okay. And Aaron Roots said jumping on a trampoline. Is that more difficult or more impressive if done naked?
Well,
Okay.
that depends on some variable factors from person to person. First off, are we talking guys versus girls, and are we
Yeah.
talking?
If it's girls, sure, it's more impressive. If it's guys, it's like, is he naked? No, hold on, it's just a blur. Oh no, okay, he's naked. Jerry Schick says magic. There's really only one place to hide your tricks. See, that's a legitimately great answer. That I've heard of close-up magic where it's like, oh, it's impressive because you're like right there doing it. Naked close-up magic. That's got to be the hardest one to do.
Yeah, no, don't ask me to sniff that quarter you just pulled out from behind my ear.
How often do people ask you to sniff quarters, Cody? Is that happening a lot lately for you?
No.
Okay. Bill Feller says scuba diving naked in 58-degree water. That's not impressive. Showing up to a wake or funeral naked. Yeah. I don't know if that'd be impressive, but whatever. Look, I do think that there should be an understanding that if you're going to somebody's funeral, you can't just dress like you would dress every day. Right. That's an understanding, right? I think most people understand that.
That depends. I went to a funeral where we were all casually dressed. I mean, even the person who passed away, they dressed him up in a Harley button-up shirt and blue jeans.
Okay, so I didn't know Johnny Dara died. That's sad. Second of all, I guess if it's an understanding that this is how we're going to act, or this is what he would wanted. But if you show up and everyone else is in button-downs and khakis, at least, or dresses and a suit, then you should just leave. So I've been to so many funerals where somebody will show up with like a wolf howling at the moon t-shirt, and it's just like, buddy, read the room. Get out. And it's never like somebody who's close to the person who died. It's always like some third cousin who's like, I heard that they passed. I wanted to pay my condolences specs.
Look, I'm not going to get into the details.
You're so white trash. I'll just say it. Just admit it.
The last funeral I went to,
yeah.
I didn't want to go. I only went to support a friend.
Uh-huh.
The worst thing about this funeral was I believe the world is a much better place without this person.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
that one, in that case, yes, then that's fine because that person was a scumbag.
I showed up in a work shirt, blue jeans, and tennis shoes, man. Like I told my coworker, I said, "Hey, I gotta go to this funeral real quick." I was there for half hour, sat through the thing, then I was gone. Bye, see ya. But yeah, so.
How are you going to dress for a lesbian wedding? Is everybody going to be wearing denim tuxedos?
Dude, I'm still I'm still waiting for the dress code on that one. That's
yeah. Is their limo going to be a Subaru?
I don't know, man. I know one of the women getting married drives a truck that's almost as big as mine.
That's okay. All right. Good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be a shame if it's during spring because then where will all the catchers be for the teams?
Good plans. Okay, you got segue into this one. Okay, so for those of you who don't know the backstory, I dated a girl who became a lesbian several years after we were together.
I don't think she became a lesbian. I think something about dating you awakened the lesbian.
Yeah, it's called when we split up. She realized she'd never find another dong as great as mine.
That's right. That's sure. That's exact. You keep telling yourself that, George Costanza. That's fine. No, it's not a lie if you believe it. It's not a lie if you believe it.
So, anyways, I'm moving my store this previous weekend. And I put a thing on Facebook because a couple of people who were supposed to help me canceled. And one of my friends, who was a girl I went to school with, who happens to be a very prominent lesbian, she decides she's going to come help me. And
But
I
like,
have
the phrase prominent lesbian also, that makes it sound like she's the mayor of lesbian town. Like, that's not a prominent. She's a lesbian of note. Yes.
Well, so anyways, we're working on something, and
is it Sharice Davids? Is that
no.
She's a prominent lesbian.
So I mentioned something about where my ex-girlfriend texted my wife, and by the way, it's one thing when your wife gives you a honey-do list. It's another thing when your lesbian ex-girlfriend texts your wife and says, "Hey, I need your husband to install these security cameras for me." And I'm just like, dude, I'm getting told by my ex-girlfriend, I'm getting a honey-do list from my ex-girlfriend,
right,
and it's being sent to my wife. Like, it's not even being sent directly to me. It's being filtered by my wife before it gets sent to me. Like, so when I told this girl about installing the cameras, she goes, "Well, just have me do it." And she goes, "That's the benefit of having lesbian friends, is we're great with tools." And I peek around the corner, and I was like, "Hold up, you know exactly who my ex is?" And she goes, "Yes, I do." And she's not a very handy lesbian.
Yeah, she's the other kind.
And she's like, "You can tell her," I said, "she's not a very handy lesbian." And I had to stop and think for a second. And she goes, "Do you know that while you two were still dating, she tried to hook up with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I probably wouldn't have had a problem with that."
No, not while you're
look,
there. Yeah,
man, I was 17, 18 back in high school. It's like, if I had any, so I told her, I was like, "Look, I had a deal with her." I was like, I knew she was sleeping with like 2 or 3 different girls. I said I was fine with it as long as I was the only dude involved. You know, maybe let me watch once in a while. But like, as long as I'm
invest
the
in
only
some
guy,
video equipment.
yeah, as long as I'm the only guy, I don't care how many other chicks are involved.
Yeah.
But I had no idea that she made a pass at this girl. So
by the way, that is the unspoken deal that every single man has with their, not every single man, but every man has with their female significant others. And if you don't know that, ladies, it's definitely the case. Like, we don't care. In fact, if you, no. And I can genuinely say that. Like, it would be a little weird after all these years of Katie. And it's like, yeah, so I've been making out with this girl at work. I'd be like, wow. What does she look like?
I mean, look, Lauren,
I'll have a problem with it if she's like really gross. If she's like this 57-year-old hippie that doesn't wash her hair and has one of those like weird matted to the back of her head, Derrick Henry circa 2019 things coming out, then I'll have a problem with it.
But yeah,
but otherwise, I'm fine with it. Anyway, that's your life. That's that's going on. When is the lesbian wedding?
I have not been told an official date yet. But for anyone listening to this story or watching this video, I would love some insight, because I have been asked to be the best man at this wedding, which, let me put that in perspective. I was not selected to be the best man at my brother's wedding. Okay. But I am good enough to be the best man for my ex-girlfriend's lesbian wedding. Okay.
Yeah, because you're never mind.
And I don't even know where to begin to write a best man speech for a wedding where I slept with one of the women getting married. So
okay, hold on. We have a solution to this. I'll get you one right now. Hold on. Right, best.
No, are we asking ChatGPT?
Yeah, speech for a lesbian.
I can't even drink my soda.
Wedding where I dated one of the women getting married.
And for the record, if anyone wonders why I'm so open about this, but without mentioning any names, is because my wife is well aware of my history with this woman, and they're actually really good friends, which makes it even funny.
I mean, all right. Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Cody, and I have the honor of being the best man today. You might be wondering why I'm standing here at a wedding between two amazing women, and the answer is simple. I dated bride one briefly, and I like to think I played a small but pivotal role in her realizing that she's gay. You're welcome, bride number two. Let me just say, bride number one, and I dated. We had a lot in common. We both love great food, bad movies, and apparently women. It didn't take long for us to realize we were better off as friends. She didn't exactly say, it's not you, it's me, but more like, it's definitely women. Specifically, not you. Fast forward to today, and I've never been more thrilled to see her with someone who truly gets her, someone who makes her laugh, lifts her up, and probably never insists on splitting nachos when they're secretly starving. Bride number two, you're her perfect match, and I couldn't be happier for you both. It got less funny as it went, but that's just how ChatGPT just shoots its wad, so to speak, right at the beginning, and then it always gets worse from there. Anyway, I've never been asked to be the best man at a wedding either.
Yeah.
I mean, my older brother died, jerk, so I couldn't do that. And my younger brother got married in secret. So he did like a courthouse ceremony and then like vaguely told my mom about it one day. And Christian, if you're listening, I'm a little mad. I would have flown from Boston to be your best man. I'm not really mad. I would have liked to. I did give a really good speech at my younger sister's wedding. I walked her down the aisle because she didn't invite my dad.
No, it's funny because at my wedding, my brother stood up as the only one that had not been married yet of the siblings. He's like, I have not been married and I'm never getting married. This circle of jerks ends with me. And now he is married with 2 kids.
That's how it works. Yep. I was worried you were going to say I'm not married, but I want to change that today. And then he proposed. That's the worst thing you can do. And as a former wedding DJ, I had people come up and ask me like, hey, can I I think I'm going to, I want to propose. See that girl? She's my girlfriend. I wanted to propose to her. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Did you ask the bride? No, I asked the groom. He's my best friend. And yeah. Did you ask the bride? Because if you didn't ask the bride and she didn't say yes, then you're not doing this. Because that guy wants to stay married. That guy's too drunk to realize what a huge mistake it would be to let you ruin her wedding by taking all the attention away from her. So if you want to do it, go ahead. Ask her first. Had 3 guys, and then they'd be like, fine, fuck it, dude. Fine, be a fucking asshole. Like, yeah, I will be, because she's the one paying me.
It's like the end of that Commanders game the other night. As soon as they locked their playoff spot, that dude went over and proposed to his girlfriend. I'm like,
that was sweet.
Why would you ruin celebrating winning the playoffs by proposing to your girlfriend?
No, best way to do it. Then she could never ever be like, you're not romantic. You never do anything romantic.
Oh yeah, no, hot and sweaty, spending the last 3 hours playing with dudes.
Enough to turn someone to lesbianism. I real quick on some football stuff. I want to say this. Did you see the Joe Burrow thing?
You gotta be more specific. The one where his coach said he's the greatest player of all time.
But whatever. Zach. Okay, I'll just fine. We'll do a whole thing now. Zach Taylor, the coach for the Bengals, is the rare case where somebody is actually as stupid as they look. If you ever see him on the sidelines, he always has this look on his face. For those of you podcast listeners, I just made a doofus face. He looks like an idiot. And what were they doing at the end of that game?
Smoking crack.
Katie and I, was it Saturday night? This is before sickness had. We were out at a restaurant and the game was on and we were watching it, or I was watching it. She was trying to talk to me or something. And I was just, it was literally it was like this, like her being like, so I think my dad, and I'm like, what? Oh my God. What did you see what they did? Oh my God. Because what happened was the Bengals were, had the ball. It was the end of the game. The Broncos had one timeout left. The Bengals got a first down. Now, if you're a Chiefs fan, oh, it's a tie game. The team only has one timeout left. You get a first down. That's the end of the game. You bleed the clock all the way down, and then you kick a field goal, give them the ball back with maybe 4 or 5 seconds left, right?
Yeah, that works if you're a Chiefs fan, not a Broncos fan.
Yeah, or Bengals fan. They didn't do that. They scored a touchdown with like 45, 50 seconds left, so that the Broncos got the ball back with almost a full minute left. And then what did they do? Scored a touchdown. And it was like all of the talk about Joe Burrow and he I don't care what the record is, man. Look at his stats. He should be the MVP. No, he shouldn't. Based on that play alone. Because that idiot did a quarterback sneak, got the ball in, and then started doing the gritty in the end zone. Like, hey, moron, there's 50 seconds left in the game.
And you've got one of the...
stupid are you that you're hitting the gritty right now?
Yeah.
Every other team is smart enough to go church mode at that point. But again, this is why people accuse the Chiefs of sucking and not being good. They don't score enough points because they don't do stupid shit like that. They don't go, oh, we're going to win the game by 7 instead of 3. They go, we're going to win the game. Who cares how much we win it by? 3, 2, 1. Doesn't matter. Let's just win the game. And of course, the Broncos got the ball back and then scored a touchdown and tied it up. The only thing that saves Zach Taylor's job is the fact that because it went back and forth, right? The Bengals had it. They got the ball first, but couldn't get anywhere. The Broncos then got it.
Overtime went back and forth.
Back and forth, right. And then the Bengals eventually won the game. But they could have won. And that's what everyone was like, yeah, but like, did you see his stat line for the game? He had over 400 yards. Yeah, because they had to go to overtime. Mm-hmm. Yeah, stat line looks great if you play an extra quarter, you freaking idiot. Oh, it just makes me so angry. I don't like. I'm not. I genuinely believe Mahomes is the MVP. I'm not going to argue stats. I'm going to say if we're not saying we're going player with the best stats, well, that's easy. That's just numbers. You don't have to think about that.
Yeah. If
you're saying what team would be worse off without this player, do you think the Chiefs would be 15-1 without Patrick Mahomes?
And I'm just going to pump the brakes right here. For anybody who's listening and our Kansas City fans, God knows we all praise Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. For those that believe that what's his nuts, Josh Allen is the MVP because he's just doing something amazing right now. First off, I would like you to look at the cream puff of a division he's currently in. Because
that's a great point.
I mean, he's got the Jets and the Patriots. The Dolphins have done all right, but I mean, the Jets and the Patriots have just been marshmallows this season. While right now, as it stands, 75% of the AFC West is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and if you go and look at their stat lines, take their rushing touchdowns out of the equation, Mahomes and Allen both have about the same amount of passing yards. They're very close as far as
their stat lines are concerned. 3,900. Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason Allen looks better is because he's got a bunch of rushing touchdowns.
Right. And where are those rushing touchdowns from?
The 1
yard line.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Yeah. I don't care. And by the way, as far as like, oh, the Chiefs are gonna pull. The people are saying this now. The Chiefs are pulling their starters so that the Broncos can win, so that the Chiefs don't have to deal with the Bengals in the playoffs.
The Chiefs are pulling their starters because
then they can. Then we have a 3-week bye. It really 3.5 weeks. Yeah. So that's why they're pulling your starters. On top of that, they don't care about nobody. As a Chiefs fan, I'll be honest with you. I would rather play against the Broncos or the Dolphins than play against the Bengals. Only because the Bengals have a better offense. Their defense sucks, but they have a better offense. I do think that they would be a more competitive match. I don't think for 1 second they'd beat us, but I think it'd be a closer game. Okay? So I would rather play against the Broncos than the Bengals. But that's not hold on. That's not my point. My point is not that. I would rather play the Broncos than the Bengals. But I would rather the Bengals get into the playoffs. And here's why. Because if the Bengals get into the playoffs, they'll be the 7th seed, meaning they'll play the 2nd seed. Who's the 2nd seed?
The Bills.
The Bills. So they'll play the Bills the first round. And I don't know. I'm 75% sure that the Bills would win that game, but it'd be a tougher game than the Broncos will give them. Yeah. And then the Bills come and play us after almost. And by the way, and Nick Wright has talked about this a lot on his podcast and I think on Twitter as well. And he makes a great point. Why the fuck is everybody talking about the Chiefs are afraid of the Bengals making the playoffs when they should be talking about the Bills being afraid of the Bengals making the playoffs? Because the Bengals destroyed the Bills back in 2021. Does no one else remember that? Not 2021. Yeah. No, 2022. The Burrow had one.
No,
Remember that game when all the players were on the sideline saying, "We'll see you, Burrowhead." You know what team they were playing? The Bills. They destroyed them. They beat us by 3 points because Patrick Mahomes had a horrifying meltdown that he's never going to have again. And by the way, I think that's the 2nd time the Bengals have beaten the Bills in the playoffs. I can't remember. I'd have to look that up. But why is everybody talking about the Chiefs being afraid? How much more credit are the Bengals going to get for beating the Chiefs one time when it mattered? One time.
I mean, I was watching
3 years ago.
Yeah, I was watching pregame Sunday while I was moving, and I think it was Michael Strahan was like,
yeah, I saw that.
He was talking about, I think the Ravens can stop the Chiefs, the Bills can stop the Chiefs, the Bengals can, of the 3 teams you listed,
the Steelers and the Texans. Okay, so you just named 3 teams that the Chiefs have beaten.
Do it too.
Yeah, if he said, and I can't remember the exact quote, but I thought he said Texans, Steelers, and Ravens.
Yeah,
I didn't hear. Maybe he said the Bengals too. That's 4 teams the Chiefs have beaten this year.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm sure they could. And we all know the thing is, as far as the Chiefs beating those teams, it's more likely to happen in the playoffs in the regular season because we know 2 things. One, the Ravens are always so much better in the playoffs, and the Chiefs are always so much worse. Oh, wait, no. That's like the opposite of how things work. Anyway, I'm done. That's enough football. I want to talk about this story, Cody. This is a fucked up story, but it's fascinating to me. Okay? So, first of all, it's a horribly worded headline. I'm going to make fun of that for a second. Target uses woman as human shield in New York City shooting. That makes it sound like the store Target.
That's the first thing I pictured.
like the employees all were like, "Hey, this guy's going to come in the store and start shooting. Find somebody and use him as a shield." That's not what happened. It means the person who was targeted in the shooting used a woman as a human shield. So 6 people were shot at a New York City convenience store Monday, including a 12-year-old girl and her mother. As one of the intended targets, used the woman as a shield. The mother ended up shot in the stomach while the person who grabbed her went unscathed. There was no immediate information on the condition of those wounded in what Police Interim Chief John Chell said, called a brazen and heartless attack on innocent New Yorkers and cowardly intended victims. Okay, so obviously nothing funny there. But here's a question. The person who was getting shot at used this woman as a human shield. The person who was being shot at was at the scene when the cop showed up. That person was not arrested. Should they have been?
Okay, I need some clarification here.
Okay,
The person being shot at, were they
grabbed this woman and used her as a human shield? And when the cops came, that person, the target, so to speak, was not arrested.
Oh man, I mean,
is it illegal to use somebody as a human shield, or is it one of the cases? And I always loved making this kind of this idiom. It's not an idiom, but whatever. It's something that's not going to send you to jail, but it's going to send you to hell. there's a difference. There's a difference between going to jail and going to hell, and we all know what that is. Clearly, this is a hellbound incident, but shouldn't it be illegal?
Well, was the target a bystander, or were they actively participating in this situation? Like,
They said police have video showing the attackers open fire on 5 p.m. as they ran across the road to the store, then kept shooting as their targets ran into the store. After bumping into the woman and the girl at the counter, one of the people who ran inside took hold of her and spun her into the line of fire. Chell said all of those shot, except for the 40-year-old mother, were wounded in their arms or legs. The fire department said it took 5 of the wounded to hospitals, and 6 apparently got a ride to a hospital from someone else. In addition to the mother and daughter, those wounded included 4 men aged 18 to 21. Investigators haven't yet made any arrests or determined the motive of the gunfire.
I mean, is this an incidental contact situation, or did this person like specifically grab this lady and throw her in the line of fire? Because I've seen.
That's what he said. The video shows him grabbing her and spinning her into the line of fire.
Well, I mean, I've seen enough Law and Order. If that lady doesn't survive, I think that constitutes a manslaughter charge, because his unintended action, like it wasn't a premeditated thought out, but if his actions resulted in the death of this person, then, I mean,
okay. So would you be able to?
There's got to be some kind of punishment.
I think a couple of things. One, we have to know the reason this guy was being shot at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he did something to really if he did something to really antagonize the guys that were shooting at him, like maybe he'd been shooting at them, or I don't know, he tried to run him over or something, then obviously the jury's not going to feel any pity for him.
No.
But if he was just standing there and one of these guys bumped into him and like called him a bitch or something, and the guy's like, hey, what the fuck you, and then the guy's like, oh, fuck me, and then pulled out a gun and started chasing him and shooting at him, I don't know, I think you'd argue, well, he just in the heat of the moment was just trying to protect himself and wasn't thinking straight. It's certainly cowardly, it's certainly awful, but is it illegal?
Yeah, I mean, if the lady survives, I kind of feel like this is definitely one of those, you're going to hell no matter what. Like you tried to sacrifice an innocent person, whether you thought about it or not. I mean, just think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. During the Super Bowl, this dude jumped on during the parade, he jumped on a pile of kids to protect them so they didn't, it's. So yeah.
You know what? I didn't know this. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was like involved in a shooting.
Yeah,
back in LSU, and it's one of the reasons he wasn't on the team for most this year. Apparently, like he was having, I think it had to do with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they said the Super Bowl incident triggered PTSD, and it ruined.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. The reports were he developed a case of PTSD, and it stemmed back from that shooting incident he was involved in. That's the exact opposite. What he did was miraculous.
Yeah, right. He was using himself as a shield.
Yeah. This person tried to sacrifice another human being. That's nah, dude.
All right. So I just Googled it, and here's the law. Okay. Using someone as a human shield is illegal and considered a serious crime in most jurisdictions around the world. It is generally classified as a form of kidnapping, assault, or an unlawful imprisonment, depending on the circumstances. In situations of armed conflict, it is also a violation of international humanitarian law. So I guess if that's in war. In domestic laws, in most countries, using someone as a human shield leads to charges like kidnapping, assault, false imprisonment, homicide, or manslaughter if the victim dies as a result. So I guess you could, even if it is like just for a couple seconds, it's false imprisonment. I mean, I really think this is a case where it's like, look, was it false imprisonment? Was it kidnapping? Not really, but we got to get him with something because we can't let people think it's okay to use people as human shields.
I mean, I guess where the false imprisonment would probably come in is, did they grab and hold, like, hey, I'm holding you and using you as a shield. If I'm restricting your movement, I falsely imprisoned you. But if it's something where I just grab and throw you out of the way, that's kind of an assault charge, I think, because you were hurt because of my actions, but like I just moved you out of the way. I didn't actually restrict your movement after the fact.
Yeah. There you go. So yeah, good discussion on that.
Wow, I was not ready for that one.
No, I just dropped it on you because I just happened to see the story before we got on air, and I was like, God damn. I filled in for on a news talk station yesterday, and it kind of got me like vibing with caring about the news again for a second.
We should do more news related episodes. I like when we do this stuff.
All right. Hey, Cody, why don't you tell me about what's going on at Akins PC Repair?
Well, first off, we are excited to announce that our Belton office is officially open at 410 Main Street. So,
wait, I wooed over you. What did you say?
If you walk in right now, it does look like we're still moving in because we absolutely are. You don't.
Wait, where's it located? I yelled over you.
410 Main Street.
410 Main Street. Okay.
Yep. Yes, you don't realize how much crap you accumulate in 10 years of business, but it's a lot. But anyways, it is New Year'sEve and the ball drops at midnight. So I have my little Pokeball here. So if you don't want to drop the ball on your computer running your business in 2025, don't forget about our business plans. For $300 a month, we cover cybersecurity, data protection, and remote support for up to 10 devices.
I'm still reeling from that ball drop analogy. I
put a lot of thought into that one.
I don't know what to do. Hey, Cody, in the new year, the year being 2025, why is it important for people to have extra security on their computers?
Because every single day you hear about some type of cyber attack happening. AT&T's been hacked, T-Mobile's been hacked, insurance companies have been hacked. I think they just said the Department of the Treasury has just confirmed they found a threat actor.
The Secret Service is getting hacked?
I read something where they determined a threat actor has been detected in their systems through a third-party security breach.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, a lot of my job is just education. If you guys pay attention for scams, you can avoid a lot of this. But security does help.
All right. So make my computer guy your computer guy. Go to Akins PC Repair now at 410 Main Street in Belton or online at akinspcrepair.com. I got another one for you then.
All right.
How do you feel about this? Apparently, people who drive Cybertrucks who use Progressive auto insurance are complaining that when they use full self-driving, their insurance rates are going up. So here's the nitty-gritty of it. Progressive has a thing that you can sign up for called Snapshot. Mm-hmm. And they monitor your driving habits, whether you're using their phone, how fast you're going, how hard you're braking, etc. And based on that, they will either raise or lower your insurance premium. I actually, when I signed up, because I have Progressive, when I signed up for it, I initially did the snapshot thing, and I was like, "No, fuck this! I'm not doing this."
I do them. So
you
all the insurance carriers have it. They
okay. I didn't. Like, Progressive is the first one I had Geico for like 15 years. Never had anything like this, but Progressive is the first one I had that had it. Geico might, but I just didn't know about it. I don't know.
Discount so cheap a caveman can hit
it. So anyway, they're complaining, though, that they're using full self-driving, and that is causing the snapshot thing to think that they're a worse driver than they are, and is raising their insurance premiums. Whereas, ironically, if you have insurance through Tesla, which you can't get in every state, I think you can only get in a few states, but if you get insurance through Tesla, your premium actually goes down if you're using full self-driving. In fact, a lot of people are using that to kind of pay for the full self-driving program, because if you use full self-driving, your insurance premium is lower. I will say this, as somebody who owns one of these damn cars, not a Cybertruck. It's only Cybertruck drivers that are complaining about it, by the way, not regular Tesla drivers like me. The full self-driving has gotten a lot better over the last year and a half or so. It really has. Like, it used to be totally useless. It used to be good for if you were on the highway and you just wanted to, it was like basically like a more advanced cruise control, which a lot of cars have now. It's gotten out to the point where sometimes I have to drive all the way up basically to the airport for my job, and I use it the entire way, and it works great. That doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to the road. It doesn't mean that I'm not, actively looking at what's going on, because, by the way, if you think that you can just sit there on your phone while your car's driving, you can't. Because the car, it's annoying. It's actually, if you took it out of full self-driving, then you could dick around on your phone. But if you have it in full self-driving and even look at your phone, it starts going, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it.
Yeah, you cannot moon the Google Maps car going down 435 in self-driving mode.
Not in full self-driving, no.
Not to say that I have ever done such a feat where if my insurance agent is listening, I did not set the cruise control in my Ford EcoSport and moon the Google Maps car going down 435 as I came off Metcalf. Never once have I done that.
So if I look at the Google Maps for 435 in Metcalf, am I going to...
I mean, if they were recording it, you might see
some pressed ham. Anyway, it's an interesting thing, though, and here's why. I think most people hear that story and go, well, good, because the robots aren't good drivers. In my experience now, yeah, they are, actually. It's much better at it than I am. Now, it's not that it doesn't make mistakes, but it doesn't make deathly mistakes anymore, where it's like switching lanes and there's a car already over there. Like, I have gotten to the point, and it has gotten to the point where I actually do trust it to drive on the highway safely. Still have to pay attention to make sure it's not doing something incredibly stupid. But it went from having my 8-year-old drive my car to having my 16-year-old drive my car.
Well, I mean, your car is also smaller. If you hit something, you're probably going to do less damage.
Yeah, true.
You're not driving a giant dumpster, which, by the way, have you seen...
Things are so stupid looking. I'm sorry.
Have you seen the reports where raccoons are trying to break into the back of the Cybertrucks because they look like dumpsters?
Doesn't surprise me. So, Cody, are you somebody who would ever use full self-driving?
Dude, I come from the world of computers, and we've had this conversation before. I am not big on the whole, like...
AI and all that stuff.
Yeah, the whole AI and self-driving and smart home integration and things like that. I do have, like, the lane assist in my truck, which only seems to work half the time.
Mm-hmm.
But
so what is that? So in your truck, you just hit the turn indicator and it'll move you over when it's...
No, you hit the little lane assist tracker, and basically the radar on the truck will read the lines on the road.
Keep you in the lane. Yeah.
So
my Ultima has that. Yeah.
So if you start to swerve off or something like that,
it'll jerk
sometimes
back.
It'll correct you, sometimes it'll beep at you.
Yeah.
And it's not always very accurate. But in a couple of years, look, I know it's coming. I just don't trust the technology yet. Now, in 5 years, maybe. I mean, I hate driving to begin with, but...
Yeah, that's why I do too, and that's why I
And here's the other thing, like, because all I can think is cautious paranoia, because my job is just nothing but cyber attack after cyber attack after cyber attack. What says I'm in full driving mode and a hacker doesn't get a hold of my car and slams me into something? Like, and you have no control over that. Now I want you to think about that.
I mean, didn't they have had test cases of that, of hackers getting into people's cars, right?
I don't know.
Or they showed that it could happen. I don't know how likely it is, but I mean,
most cyber attacks are because somebody's being an idiot, and John from accounting opened the email that says Amazon just awarded him $1,000 gift card if he just fills out his social security number. But I
mean,
the possibility.
Can I just tell you this though? If I was in full self-driving mode and somebody hacked into my car and started fucking, I just hit the brake and take it out of full self-driving mode. That's all you have to do.
Assuming that they didn't disable the override.
Well, then they could get in. It wouldn't have anything to do with the self-driving mechanism then. Yeah. It would just be them able to hack any car.
So
Hey, this is a new opportunity for you, though. Right? Think of all the money you can make making people's cars secure.
Man, I just wish I could learn how to update my cars myself. People could avoid getting arrested. I'm sorry, man. I can never let you live that down. I just can't.
Wait, what did I do?
When your car got updated.
I didn't get arrested. I didn't even know what you're talking about. I didn't get arrested. I almost got my car towed. Okay. And I got yelled at by a cop with a thick Boston accent. It was like, what are you fucking talking about? Your car's updating. What do you mean your car's update, you fucking idiot? Like, it's updating. I don't know what to tell you. It's a car. It's like a computer. It's like, it's the future. What do you want me to tell you? All right, last thing I want to say about the full self-driving car thing is this. What I don't understand about it is, how does the snapshot thing even know you're in full self-driving? Because you don't.
The snapshot runs through your car's computer. It probably
no, it doesn't. It's on your phone.
Oh,
yeah.
That one's on your phone.
The one I have is. I mean, I don't use it anymore, but it's on my phone.
Oh, you know what? Because your car's connected to your Bluetooth.
Maybe, yeah.
It probably sees something along the lines of the Bluetooth connection, knows it's in self-driving mode. Be my guess.
Could be that, or maybe the Cybertruck self-driving mode sucks.
Or for anyone who's seen or read my little rant a couple of weeks ago, everything has to have an app. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cybertruck requires you to have an app to turn on self-driving mode at this point.
Well, Tesla has an app. Yeah. You don't have to have the app to start the car, but it helps. All right, there you go. That's the show. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Merry New Year.